Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Jason here with a new game called Forever Skies. Very, very cool game made by the Far From Home development team. Very, very cool. They let me actually in on a early access demo of the game. So it's not the full game. I just got to play the beginning, at least I assume, the beginning of the game where you first get into the airship, which is going to be a main feature of this game. It is such a cool thing, and I want to say big shout out, thank you, Far From Home, for letting me in on this early access. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for that. But let's jump into what the game is. So the game is actually a traditional first-person survival open world crafting game, whatever you want to call it. It is in the vein, think of Subnautica, think of Planet Crafter. It is one of those games that really, really depends on your oxygen, your health, your food meter, your water meter. In this game, instead of an oxygen meter, you actually have an energy meter, which is really, really cool because you have to sleep. You have to actually gain your energy back, and it slowly drains. I think personally it's set really well already, and they're just going to keep adding more to it and refining the game. This is a really, really early access build, but I am really loving what I'm seeing so far. But before we get too deep into all of that stuff, let me tell you about what the game is actually about. Forever Skies is a game where the player returns to Earth after an ecological disaster killed almost all of humanity. You are a scientist coming back to Earth to figure out what happened and to study all the poisonous fog that is covering the Earth's surface to hopefully figure out how to fix it and save someone very close to you. So they didn't give us a lot of story details in the demo itself. They kind of gave us a written background on what the story is going to be, but that wasn't included yet because, again, this is really, really early access to the game, but it feels really good. It plays very good. Definitely, want to keep your eye on it. If you have a next generation console, meaning a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or PC, it's not coming to the last generation. Sadly, the plan is only for next generation and PC. But keep your eye on it if you're, interested in a survival crafting game like I am. I know you guys love it as well. So what I got to do is just run around, collect things, which was really, really cool. You're collecting items just like any other crafting game, and it really reminded me of Subnautica in a lot of ways because instead of an oxygen meter, you have an energy meter. So the faster you run around, the more energy you're draining. You get exhausted, you have to take a rest. You have to either go to sleep in a bed, you have to build a bed, or you can find different energy drinks out in the world, but they're very limited. You have to find them, you can't make them. As far as I know, maybe later on in the game you're able to make them. But early on in the game, everything is really resource intensive because you don't have anything. You're building everything from the ground up. And speaking from the ground up, your home base is a gigantic airship. I mean, I say gigantic. It's not very big on the inside. Like your living quarters, your buildable area starts out really small. But as the game progresses, you're able to expand it out, make it bigger, and add more technology to it. So it is very, very cool idea. And the fact that it's a movable base of operations. So it feels like in No Man's Sky, when you can make your base on a freighter and you could just use your freighter to fly around, that's what it feels like. Because, in a traditional survival crafting game, you make a base and you always have to keep running back to it and back to it. Like you go out and explore and then you always have to come back and drop off all your items. Not in Forever Skies. You literally can have your base, you fly your base wherever you're going, so you don't have to keep heading back. So there's no backtracking unless you miss something like in a different location. But you use your airship to fly around to different broken down skyscrapers, and you're able to find different logs from the survivors, like people who, they were trying to just live as long as they could. They have different notes on what they were doing. They also have different technology upgrades. You're able to cook food. You're able to, scrap more items. You can strap on more engines to make your airship go faster. You can also strap on turbines to make your airship go higher up in the atmosphere because the lower in the atmosphere you are, the closer to the surface of the Earth, the more illness you can get. You know, the more likely you're going to get sick because it's really bad atmosphere near the surface. You want to go higher to kind of get fresh air. That way you don't get sick. But you can also, you know, you need to make your own food. So you need to go closer to the surface because you need to pick plants. Or you can even, like, fish. I say fish. You can hunt for insects to cook and actually eat. And they have a whole cooking system to where if you eat something like a raw piece of fruit, it'll give you a little bit of stats. But if you cook it, it'll give you even more, which is really, really awesome. And the whole energy concept, the hydration is very cool. You can actually make a water purifier, so you can collect dirty water anywhere you want and then go back to your airship and purify the water. It is very, very cool concept. The biggest feature that I think is going to make this game stand out is the airship. The fact that you can make this, and it's a gigantic floating fortress that you can build, and you can slowly add on to it, but you're going to need to stop, you know, land on a broken down skyscraper, collect all these materials. That way you can build up your airship. Very, very cool idea. Very, very cool concept. And so happy I was able to get in early access with the game. It's feeling very, very good. So keep your eye on it. If you want to, there's a link down below in the description and the pinned comment to wishlist it over on Steam. But if you have just, you know, a PS5 next generation consoles, you know, Xbox Series X, keep this thing on your radar because this game is going to be freaking awesome. There's no set date in stone. Right now, they're kind of, you know, they're adding to it. They're letting some content creators in early to kind of test out the game, play it a little bit, see what's working, see what's not working. They made sure to tell us, hey, look, this game is going to be rough because it's an early build, but we're adding more features. We're all, you know, they're doing bug testing. They will be making it better. So if you see something that's kind of like, keep in mind, this is an early build of the game, but I appreciate them for sending me early access. Thank you so much, Far From Home, for letting me do this and let me jump in here and see the game this early and let everyone know about it. So hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button and let me know down in those comments. Are you planning on getting this? Are you interested in this game? I really think you guys are going to dig this game. If you like Subnautica, a lot of you guys are telling me Subnautica is a great game. I've been playing it. I love Subnautica. I love Planet Crafter. This is going to be something very similar to that. So if that's in your wheelhouse, this is going to be a game that's going to be really interesting. Keep your eyes peeled for Forever Skies, and I will see you guys in the next video.